and welcome. For this class, we are going to get all nice and stretchy. This practice is great for whatever you need it to be, but especially for really low energy. It's a little bit more uplifting and energizing. So if you're like me, this time of year I kind of just start to feel blah. With weather changing and time changing, I just start to feel a little bit more tired throughout the day. So this may be a great practice to start your day out with, maybe first thing in the morning or just as a little pick-me-up throughout your day. So everything we do is going to be on the floor. So just find a spot wherever you're at and go ahead and grab whatever you have lying around. If you have a yoga block, grab one of those or just a nice thick book. And then if you have a yoga bolster, same thing, grab that or a couple of firm pillows, couch cushion, does not matter. Just a couple of props like this. We'll use those a little bit later. And then just find a seat wherever you're at. We'll just get started. We'll take it nice and slow. We're just gonna start with a check-in. So find a nice, easy seat wherever you're at. And maybe option to close your eyes down or just gaze softly down the bridge of your nose. And as you get kind of situated, you may feel a little squirmy. Maybe you have to get some wiggles out, some movement out. So just take your time settling into this seat here. And when you're ready, go ahead and just start to notice how you're feeling today, wherever you're at. Maybe it's the beginning of your day. Maybe it's closer to the end of your day. Notice where you're at in your day. Notice how you feel coming into this day. And then notice where you're at in your week. Maybe it's been a busier, more hectic week. Maybe it's been slower, maybe a little harder to get going. Just kind of notice where are you at in your day, in your week. How are you feeling? Maybe just one word to describe how you feel right here, right now. Maybe you understand why you feel that way, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. Just what matters is that you notice that feeling, feel that feeling. And then I invite you to anything else that pops in your head here, anything outside of this space, outside of this moment, to-do lists, people, anything else that's distracting. Can you let everything else, all of the other noise, just kind of fade away? Maybe let it be a little bit more blurry, more out of focus. And all of your focus starts to come inward on yourself. Maybe you're on a mat, so it's just you and your mat. So you have a nice sharp focus in on yourself, and everything else around you just becomes a little bit more blurry, a little bit more out of focus. And as you continue to center your focus on yourself, start to notice your breathing here. So you're not changing, you're not modifying anything, just simply notice. What does it feel like to be present in this moment and just breathe? There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to be. Maybe notice that subtle movement of your chest, maybe even your belly as you inhale and exhale. Maybe notice the beat of your heart. And then go ahead and as you continue to breathe, just try to check in on any tension you may not be aware of in your body. So maybe check in with your jaw. Maybe release that, let that go a little bit. Move it around, whatever you have to do. Then move down into your shoulders. Are they kind of hunched up? Are they holding a lot of tension? Can you kind of just release? Maybe just gently open up through your chest a little bit more. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. And if you're not already, can you place your hands on top of your knees or your legs, just wherever they naturally rest? Face up, so your palms are facing up. Maybe gently wiggle through your fingers. And start to deepen your breath here. So we're moving into what we call ocean breathing, which is just a simple inhale, deep inhale through your nose. And deep exhale through your mouth. Take it nice and slow and steady. Inhale. And exhale. Few more at your own pace. On that inhale, feel your belly open, expand. Feel like that balloon just expand with air. And then on your exhale, feel that balloon deflating all the way back in. Again, couple more times. Fill your balloon with air all the way up into your chest, and then on your exhale, deflate it all the way, push all that air out. 2 more. Last one here. And when you get to the top of that inhale, hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, deflate that balloon. We're going to take that 3 more times. Inhale. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Last hold. Inhale. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Awesome. Oh, go ahead and return to normal breathing. You may feel the need to take a couple of just deep breaths. Maybe you need to sigh it out. Awesome. Go ahead and slowly blink your eyes open if they're closed. We're gonna move into our first stretch. I'm just gonna move my props out of the way just briefly. So you're gonna bring your legs out, straight out to the sides. They don't have to be super far apart, just kind of whatever feels most natural here. And as you're getting situated, really try to ground down through your sit bones. So you're not kind of leaning back, you're really sitting up straight right on top of your sit bones here. Awesome. Go ahead and flex through your feet. Just kind of notice how this feels, firing up probably the front and back parts of your legs. Take a couple deep breaths here. Really try to, on your inhales, really lengthen your spine here. So you're trying to sit up as straight as you can. I know it's challenging. It's challenging for me. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And then on your next inhale, again, really lengthen through your spine. On your exhale, your right hand lands on your right leg. Your left arm sweeps up and overhead. And hold here for a couple rounds of breath. I'm going to get my mic situated. So your left arm is really extended up overhead. So you may notice some sensations in your ribs here, in your left side body. Notice how that feels. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Go ahead and inhale, come to center. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Maybe your palms touch, maybe not. Take a breath or 2 here. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, take it over to the left. So same stretch, just on the other side now. And again, notice that opposite side. Notice your right side body, your ribs. This may feel really, really tight. So as we move through these postures, just notice any parts of your body that feel really tight and see if you can breathe around those parts of your body. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. Come back to center on your inhale. Extend your arms all the way up. This time on your exhale, plant your fingertips or palms of your hands. Inhale to lengthen. Remember, try to sit up on those sit bones. Exhale, walk it forward. An option here, you can let this be just a really passive stretch, meaning you let go of any flexing in your feet. You just kind of let your legs go and you let your upper body just kind of naturally just be. And for some people, you may just kind of land up here. You may not even fold very deep. Totally fine. So you can just take a passive stretch here. If you take that stretch, go ahead and just let your entire upper body go. Just let gravity take you. Option number 2, if you feel like you need a little bit more of like an energizing, active stretch, you can flex through your feet. You can take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes, and you really want to inhale, keep your spine lengthened, and then exhale, keep your spine lengthened on that fold. And you can let your head and neck go here. Just try not to round through your spine too much, just to protect your lower back here. So option number 1, you're just letting everything go. Option number 2, a little bit more active. We're going to be here for about 1 minute. So if you're taking the active posture, maybe you can take it the whole time, or maybe you take it halfway and then the other half you let it be nice and passive. Just depends on how your body feels today. Just find wherever you land here. And no matter which version of this fold you're taking, try to let the crown of your head be nice and heavy towards the earth. Try to release through the back of your neck, your shoulders. And if you're taking the passive version of this stretch where you're just kind of letting everything go, you may notice that on your exhales, you kind of tend to just let go a little bit more. So you can feel that tension just kind of leaving your body one breath at a time. Wherever you're at, whichever version you're taking, try to allow yourself to sink just a little bit deeper for about 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. And then on your next inhale, if you have your toes, go ahead and release. And then go ahead and slowly, gently start to sit up. There's no rush here. Take your time. Check in. Notice how you feel here. I feel ready to take a nap, but not yet. Okay, so if you're on a yoga mat, go ahead and make sure that you've got plenty of space in front of you, plenty of space behind you. We're going to move into what we call square pose, but I'm going to show you this step by step, so you may not be able to take the full version of it. It's a huge hip stretch. It's a very intense stretch on your lower body, so we're just going to take it one step at a time and see where you land. So go ahead and place your hands back behind you, just however feels most supportive. You're going to plant your feet, bending through your knees here. And then we're going to start with the right leg. So you're going to take your right ankle and place it over top of your left leg. And you can just maneuver into this posture here. You may find that this is enough for you and this is a massive stretch, and that's okay. If this is enough, stay here. Or you can play with bringing that left foot in a little bit more, so the closer your legs are to you, the more you're going to feel this stretch. Option here, maybe you kind of do a little sway side to side. That may feel really nice. Option, you can let your head kind of fall back if that feels okay on your neck and your throat. So maybe stay here for a few rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, you can find some stillness. So if you're here with me and you're like, I mean, I kind of feel it, but like not really. Other option is to walk your left foot to the right, and then you're going to drop your leg. So your ankle is still over top of your left leg. And the idea here, the reason it's called square pose, is because the idea is to get your legs, the bottom half, in kind of a square-ish shape. So eventually, your right ankle is over top of your left knee, and your right knee is over top of your left ankle. Like I said, this is a massive stretch. So just find whatever variation you're taking. And we're going to be here for about 1 more minute or so, maybe a little bit longer. So find your edge, meaning find that point of tension that you can breathe through. It's not comfortable. It's not supposed to be comfortable. This should be uncomfortable. So whichever variation you're taking, you should feel tension, but you don't want to feel it so much that it's causing pain or it's so overwhelming that you can't stay present with your breath. So focus on your breath, specifically your exhales. Notice if any frustration or negative feelings comes up around this. Notice if any judgments for yourself or for your body come up. If so, remind yourself that this is exactly where you're supposed to be. You're meeting your body where it's at today, and that's all that matters. Few more rounds of breath. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and walk your hands back up towards you. Okay, wherever you're at, go ahead and unwrap your legs, and you're going to straighten. You're going to straighten your legs in front of you. So this is where you take whatever you need to before we take it to the other side. Maybe you need to shake your legs out. Maybe let them rock side to side. Okay. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. So go ahead and plant your right foot, bend your knee, and then same thing. We're going to take it step by step, find your edge. So you kind of have the hang of this now from the other side. Option, you can kind of take that nice rocking side to side just to let your hips and your legs ease into this a little bit more. And then go ahead and find some stillness. So whether that's here or whether that's all the way down, find your version of what works in your body today. Find your edge, and then find your breath. Once you settle in here, once you settle into that stillness, find your breath. And focus on your exhales. See where you can let go just a little bit more. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, and 1. Again, go ahead and undo all of that. Straighten your legs in front of you. Take a few moments, whatever you need here for your legs, for your lower body. Notice if you have any cramping. Just kind of give yourself a few more rounds of breath here just to be. Notice how it feels to bring that, let that circulation, that blood flow come back to your legs, to your hips. Alrighty. So when you're ready, go ahead and grab your prop. So that block or that book, whatever you have, just something to elevate your hips a little bit. We're gonna meet on our back. So go ahead and meet me there. And when you arrive, you can plant your feet about hips width distance apart. Let me fix my mic again. Okay, so plant your feet about hips width distance apart, and then you're gonna grab whatever prop you have. Lift your hips just high enough so you can slide that prop underneath you. So make sure it's directly under your hips. You don't want it too high up your spine or too low. You want to feel a nice support underneath you here. And it's totally up to you what height you take this. On my block, I have options here to kind of keep it at the first height or maybe take it to that next level. So the higher up you go, the more intense it becomes on your spine and on your lower back. So check in. Notice what feels good here, or maybe not necessarily good, but what does your body need here? Maybe you need more of an intense stretch, or maybe you just need to keep it on that lower level. Wherever your arms are at, make sure they feel nice and supported. You're not sort of holding any tension anywhere. And then you can keep your knees bent, or you can straighten them in front of you. So just kind of notice what you need here. We'll be here for about another minute or so. Check in. Notice how this feels. Continue to breathe. Just be present with your breath here. Maybe stay here for about 5 or 6 more rounds of breath. Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and wrap your hands around your prop that's underneath you. Make sure that you're nice and stable on that. So I like to just keep my hands around my prop. And on an inhale, you're gonna one knee at a time, bring your knees in towards your chest. Again, make sure you're nice and stable over that. Exhale here. And then on your next inhale, straighten your legs all the way up to the sky. Whew. And exhale. So just stay here for a few rounds of breath. Maybe roll out your ankles. Maybe point and flex through your feet. You can kind of just play around with this. I'm going to lower my prop down a little bit just to give me a little bit more space. Alrighty, couple more rounds of breath. Notice how this feels. Elevating your legs at the end of a practice is really regulating just for your whole entire system, your nervous system, everything. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and bring your knees back in towards you and then replant your feet down, and then you're gonna lift your hips just enough to move that prop out of the way. And then I'm gonna move this over here. We're gonna take a spinal twist. So go ahead and bring your knees in towards your chest again. Well, first of all, before we take that, let's just maybe rock side to side here for a few rounds, just to kind of get back into your spine. So that may have felt like a really big stretch, especially on your lower back. So just check in with your lower back, check in with your spine here. And then when you're ready, let your legs drop gently to the left, all the way down. And just start to settle in to this twist here. You can have your arms however feels most natural. There's no right or wrong here. Just take this twist. And we'll be here for about a minute. Notice where you feel this twist in your spine. Maybe you even feel some sensation in your hip, in your leg, maybe your shoulders. Go ahead and start to deepen your breath a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here. And then on your next inhale, slowly and gently bring your knees back to center. Exhale, take it to the right. So just opposite side. Let your legs drop all the way down. And same thing, just kind of find a variation of this twist that works in your body. And what worked in your body yesterday or last week or last month may not work in your body today. And that's okay. So every time that we step onto the mat, or every time that you step onto the mat, I invite you to not have any expectations. I know it's hard not to, but no expectations for what your practice should look like, should feel like, how it compares to the last practice. Just allow yourself to show up as you are and just accept yourself right there. I know it's way easier said than done, but it gets easier the more you practice, especially the more you show up that way on your mat, the easier it gets. And then that application can go into your real life as well, instead of holding so many expectations for yourself based on how you were able to show up the day before or the week before. Just know that however you show up today is where you're at, and all you can do is your best wherever you're at. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center, recenter everything. Exhale, squeeze everything in together. Maybe curl yourself up in a really tight ball, holding for a couple rounds of breath. And then go ahead and release. So we're going to move into our last posture. It's not a stretch. It's a nice, really restorative posture. So go ahead and grab your bolster, your couch cushion or your pillow, whatever you have, and you're going to place it behind you, and you're going to sit directly up against it. And then when you're ready, you're going to lay all the way over, and it should feel nice and supportive. Just let yourself settle over this here. So your legs can be however you need them to be. They can be straight out in front of you. You can bend your knees and cross your legs. You can have your legs however. Same with your arms. You just want your legs and your arms to feel supported, not like you have to hold them up in any way. And this is your time to maybe let your body know that it's okay to rest. It's okay to let go. You're not trying to feel a huge stretch here. You're just trying to allow yourself to feel supported, feel comfortable, and just give yourself a couple more minutes to just be. If the prop underneath you isn't working and you just want to lay just directly down on the floor, that's totally fine too. There's no right or wrongs here. I invite you one last time to check in. Notice how you feel in this moment. Maybe you feel the same, maybe you feel different than when you started practice. My hope is that you feel a little bit different, maybe a little bit better. Maybe you've had some things come up in practice. Again, maybe some frustrations, maybe other judgments for yourself, feelings. Just notice anything that's come up. And again, one last reminder to yourself that however you've showed up here today is exactly how you're supposed to be. It's exactly where you're supposed to be. Then before we wrap up practice together, I'm just gonna guide you through just a very brief body scan. One last opportunity to let everything go. So I invite you to bring your awareness to the top of your head, just noticing that space, and then slowly and gently work your way down into your forehead, that space just between your eyebrows. See if you can let that go a little bit more. You can even, as we scan down your body option, you can even to place fingers or hands in those places just to kind of really remind yourself to ground down, to let go. Then go ahead and continue your awareness down the bridge of your nose. Feather it out into your cheekbones and then come all the way down into your jaw. And just notice, release, let go. Maybe allow your tongue to fall away from the roof of your mouth. Allow your lips to part a little bit. Work your way down into your throat. Maybe there needs to be a little bit of an opening. Maybe there feels like there's some blockage there. Maybe try to allow yourself to open up that space in your body a little bit more. And continue your awareness down. Feather it out into your shoulders. Allow them to be a little bit heavier, a little bit more grounded wherever you're at here. Out into your arms. And then work your way down into your legs. Same thing, releasing, letting go, grounding down. And then I invite you to bring your awareness back up into your belly. Take a couple of deep rounds of breath. Maybe place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, on your chest. Connect with your breath here. Feel that physical movement. So you inhale and exhale, a couple more rounds of breath. Last one, big breath in. Let it all go. Awesome job. Feel free to stay exactly where you're at for longer if you can, if you need to. I'm gonna end my practice here with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you got whatever it was that you practiced today. As always, I will see you next time.